The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Wednesday, May 21, 2025 are here. In the next episode, fans can expect Daphne Rose to begin her next chapter. Meanwhile, Carter Walton and Hope Logan reunite. Also, Dr. Grace Buckingham shares bad news with Liam Spencer. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the CBS soap opera. Daphne Rose's next chapter. Even though Daphne has tried to win Carter's heart, the only person he is thinking about is Hope. The Nose even tried to encourage the COO to move on with her. Despite her advances and seductive moves, Carter only has eyes for one woman. Fans know that Daphne was a plant by Steffy Forrester Finnegan after the takeover. At the time, Steffy was convinced that dividing Carter and Hope was the key to her family getting the company back. So, without Carter and with the takeover already resolved, what's next for the Parisian perfumer? It seems that Daphne might put her focus back on business. Will Spencer, Electra Forrester, and Zendy Forrester Dominguez team up to help encourage Daphne to start a new line at SC? That could give Daphne a real storyline instead of pining after a man who's not even interested in her. Hope Logan explains the bold and the beautiful spoilers for the next episode reveal that Hope will explain things to Carter. Just when Carter thought he knew the truth, Hope will have to drop a bombshell on him. It sounds like the only thing for Hope to do is to tell Carter the truth about why she said those things to Liam. That means exposing Liam's brain tumor. Carter Walton's reunion. Once Carter finds out Liam has a brain tumor, he will be shocked and devastated. At the same time, the COO will be relieved that Hope still wants to be with him. Dr. Grace Buckingham's bad news over at the hospital. Liam will meet with Grace, who has some news. Unfortunately, it won't be good news. Grace will seemingly just confirm what the brain scan shows. Liam isn't getting any better. In fact, Grace might even tell the patient that things are more dire than they first thought. Could Liam have even less time than doctors initially believed? How does one process and deal with that, especially if they have young children? The bold and the beautiful scoop for Wednesday, May 21 reveals Hope Logan and Carter Walton will kiss and make up. Also coming up, Liam Spencer will get an upsetting update. Plus, will Daphne Rose agree to work on a new line? B&B spoilers tease Will Spencer, Electra Forrester, and Zendy Forrester will try to convince the Nose of Paris to help with a brand new line for the fashion house. But will she go for it? Meanwhile, Liam will discuss his latest brain scan with Dr. Grace Buckingham. Viewers know he got bad news from John Finnegan on Monday's B&B. Unfortunately, there was no change to the size of the mass on his brain. However, the doctor may have a treatment to save Liam. In the B&B weekly preview, Finn and Steffy Forrester look excited by what Grace tells Liam. That is, until she says it could affect his quality of life. Finally, Carter had it out with Hope when she arrived at his loft on Tuesday to tell him she's back at Forrester Creations. He seemed genuinely happy for his former girlfriend and congratulated her. Then Carter told Hope he showed up at her mom's place and overheard every word she said to Liam. He added that he was a fool to believe in their relationship, but she told him he was wrong and she hated being apart from him. "Carter, it's you," Hope said to him. "You're the man I want to be with." Obviously, Carter is going to need an explanation about what he witnessed between her and Liam. So will Hope tell him that Liam is dying? Hey B&B fans, are you as pumped as we are for the new CBS Sizz Beyond the Gates? Then make sure you join our free Facebook group. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Zendy Forrester Dominguez hasn't had much of a story lately. What's more is that Zendy is a handsome young man and should be dating, especially working around so many models. So could Zendy have a love story coming up? Could the woman be the last person anyone expects to have a connection with the dashing young designer? Keep reading and let's talk about what could happen next. Zendy Forrester Dominguez underused. It seems that Zendy is being underused by the soap. The character is a handsome young man and is in need of a love story. While Zende has been designing dresses and has been around, he hasn't had much of a storyline lately. It seems that it might be time for Zende to start a new chapter. Fans are eager for the character to get a new love interest and have a solid storyline of his very own. Daphne Rose's new line. It is stated that during the week of May 19, 2025, Zende encourages Daphne Rose to start a new line. Right now, Daphne is just doing a perfume line at Forrester Creations. So if Daphne is going to stick around, she's going to need some more things to do. What is interesting is that Zende doesn't make this pitch to Daphne alone. Apparently, Will Spencer and Electra Forrester get involved as well. That would actually give Zende another opportunity to get involved in Will and Electra's storyline. Unexpected romance. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that some fans love the idea of Zende and Daphne together. While they would make a good couple, chances are that Daphne is not sticking around. That means there needs to be some drama before she can ride off into the sunset. So instead of Zende getting romantically linked to Daphne, could he develop feelings for someone far more scandalous? Sizzling scandal spurs romance? B&B fans know that when Luna Nozawa was dating RG Forrester, Zende got crafty and manipulative. At one point, Zende tricked Luna into going to dinner with him. So while Zende is a good guy, he is definitely capable of getting dark and dirty as well. So if anyone can understand Luna bouncing between good and evil, it might be Zende. Of course, Zende did feel betrayed and violated by Luna's bedroom trick, when she claimed to think he was RJ while under the influence of Mom's drugged mints. What are the chances that Zende could fall for Luna all over again? That could give Zende a front-burning storyline and give him some meaty scenes. It would also cause complications for other areas of Zende's life, such as his career and family, so stay tuned. The bold and the beautiful spoilers and updates tease Ridge Forrester might be facing some heartache from Italy. It seems likely that he will realize he wants Brooke Logan back, but it may be too late. Let's explore the direction this storyline is taking. Brooke has been tirelessly asking for a reunion, yet her efforts seem futile at this point. Despite her numerous attempts to secure a future with Ridge, he remains resolute in his commitment to Taylor Hayes. However, longtime viewers of B&B are well aware of Ridge's patterns. Taylor often fails to keep his interest for an extended period, as the show frequently portrays him as indecisive. Ultimately, Ridge will always have a lingering desire for Brooke, feeling a stronger connection to her that they have built over the years. The concept of destiny frequently arises in discussions about Brooke and Ridge, but both will soon find themselves questioning it. This is due to the return of Nick Marone, who is set to rekindle his romance with Brooke and stir up more drama. After Nick's comeback in June, he will be part of the episodes filmed in Italy, which are scheduled to air in July. Viewers can expect thrilling scenes featuring Nick, Ridge, Brooke, and Eric Forrester against the stunning backdrops of Naples and Capri. By that time, Ridge might reconsider his future with Brooke. Eric might end up ecstatic and potentially assist Ridge in his pursuit of Brooke for another intense reunion in Italy, reminiscent of their time in Rome. However, Ridge could come to the realization that he wants Brooke back only after he discovers her in Nick's embrace. It's possible that Nick and Brooke will be caught in a passionate moment before the trip concludes, leaving Ridge heartbroken upon his return. Taylor could find herself as a fallback option, which might create tension in her relationship with Ridge if she picks up on this. Still, Ridge may attempt to deepen his commitment to Taylor once he understands that Brooke and Nick are rekindling their romance. Taylor could potentially become Ridge's fiancée if he presents her with an engagement ring, signaling his commitment, despite still harboring feelings for Brooke. However, Ridge's jealousy may pose a significant problem, potentially causing serious conflict down the line. As Nick and Brooke's relationship develops, Ridge is likely to become increasingly agitated. According to upcoming spoilers for the CBS soap, Italy may play a pivotal role in many dramatic events, so stay tuned for all the latest updates and surprises. The bold and the beautiful spoilers and updates revealed Daphne Rose appears to be infatuated with Carter Walton, but the soap seems to be steering Carter towards Hope Logan. What implications does this have for Daphne's future? Who might the nose be romantically linked with next? Who's next on her pursuit list? Could this lead to an unexpected love story and a dynamic soap opera couple? Stay tuned as we explore the possibilities. Daphne has always been open about her feelings for Carter. When the Parisian perfumer arrived, she was merely a background character at Forrester Creations. While carrying out Steffi Forrester Finnegan's bidding, Daphne found herself drawn to her target. It appears that Daphne's infatuation is intensifying. The more he runs, the more she chases. The more elusive Carter becomes, the stronger her desire for him grows. That's the textbook definition of obsession. In the meantime, Liam Spencer is facing the grim reality of an inoperable brain tumor. His primary focus appears to be on finding peace and extending forgiveness, not only for himself, but also for his loved ones. Liam has already urged Hope and Steffi to set aside their differences. There are hints that Steffi may soon invite Hope back to Forrester Creations. Additionally, Liam is encouraging Hope to rekindle her relationship with Carter, believing she will need someone to support her, and he seems determined that it should be Carter. It has been hinted that a reunion may occur by the end of the week. There remains a chance that Ridge Forrester and Brooke Logan could be the couple in focus. However, it increasingly appears that Hope and Carter are the ones to watch, particularly given the mounting pressure from Liam. Fans have generally not embraced the idea of Harder, as it lacked a proper build-up and seemed to emerge unexpectedly without any context. Nevertheless, the soap has already leveraged the Forrester Creations takeover to strengthen the connection between Carter and Hope. It seems that Liam's demise will pave the way for their reunion. If Carter and Hope end up back together, what implications does that have for Daphne? While she does have her perfume line, it lacks depth. Therefore, Daphne will require a new storyline. This could justify the involvement of Will Spencer, Electra Forrester, and Zende Forrester Dominguez in urging the nose to launch a new collection. This would provide Daphne with a reason to remain in Los Angeles. But what about her romantic future? Although Justin Barber hasn't been seen recently, could he potentially be a better fit for Daphne? It appears that the chemistry between Justin and Daphne could be much more intense than with Carter, so keep watching. Here is your The Bold and the Beautiful recap for Tuesday, May 20, 2025, when Hope made her comeback in the fictional LA fashion world. Carter stood in his apartment, remembering hearing Liam tell Hope that her future was with Carter, but Hope saying she wanted to be with Liam. Brooke was thrilled to welcome Hope back to Forrester Creations. Ridge walked into Eric's office and was surprised to see Hope there before a beaming Brooke told him Hope had been rehired. "I'm very grateful to Steffi for the opportunity," Hope said. "I didn't even know that was something that was being considered." "What changed?" Ridge asked. Hope wasn't quite sure what to say because she knew she couldn't reveal Liam's secret. Instead, she remained vague. "It was a mutual understanding. Steffi and I really wanted to come together, and I think we've wasted enough time being at odds with one another. It's a work in progress, but we are certainly in a better place. And it's not the only relationship I'd like to try to rebuild," Hope said. Hope acknowledged that she and Carter went too far when they stole the company. "We were trying to do the right thing, and we went about it entirely wrong, and I'm trying to make it right," she said. "I like this self-awareness. It's new," Ridge noted. "Lately, I've been seeing things in a different light," Hope explained. "So does Steffi, it turns out," Ridge responded. Brooke suggested that Hope tell Carter her big news, so she called him. He invited her to his loft so they could speak face to face. So Hope left work on her first morning back, but promised to be back soon to start her unnamed position. After Hope left, Ridge remained perplexed, but Brooke was practically giddy. They had been at odds for so long. It wasn't good for them, Brooke noted regarding Steffi and Hope. I like peace. Peace is great. I'm just a little surprised by it, is all. Why now? Why bury the hatchet now? What happened? Ridge wondered. Brooke thought this was the start of a trend. If Hope and Steffi can work things out between them, then surely you and I could do the same, Brooke suggested. Over at Carter's place, Carter quietly opened the door, expecting to hear the worst from Hope. Carter was shocked when Hope told him that she was back at Forrester. Steffi rehired me last night. We actually had a wonderful conversation, and we promised to be supportive and understanding of each other, Hope happily said. Hope explained that she and Steffi had a change in perspective. Steffi and I had been talking about life and how short and unpredictable it would be, so why waste time? Something Liam reminded us both of, Hope said. Hearing Liam's name caused Carter to turn pensive. That's all you want to share, Hope? Nothing else? Anything you want to tell me about Liam? He asked. Hope gave Carter a confused look. Carter, why are you asking about Liam? Have you heard something? Carter confessed to Hope that he stopped by Brooke's house and heard Liam and Hope talking in the living room. I heard you say that he is the man for you, Carter said. Hope tried to explain herself, but Carter didn't want to hear her. Daphne is right. I'm a fool, Carter said. Hope put her hand to his cheek and spoke. You're not a fool. You're amazing, and I have missed you so much. I've hated being apart from you. Carter, it's you. You're the man I want to be with, Hope told a confused Carter before taking him in her arms. Steffi woke to find Finn in his swim trunks just after a surf. She mentioned Liam's new scans as Liam emerged from his room to tell her there had been no change. I was hoping for a small miracle, but it doesn't seem like that's in the cards, Liam said. Liam asked Steffi not to be sad every time she was around him, but Steffi admitted it was hard. Steffi told Liam that she and Hope had spoken the night before. Hope and I vowed to put our differences aside and face the situation as a family, Steffi said. Liam was thrilled and touched to hear this, but Steffi kept going. We wasted so much time with this stupid rivalry. We're determined to put an end to it, Steffi said, much to Liam's relief. I can't even believe this is real. You and Hope, you had a conversation. You're going to try and make peace, Liam asked in amazement. I finally understand the fragility of life and what's truly important. And we just want to make you happy, Steffi said. Liam was still floored, talking about how he had to do something to bring them together because he felt responsible for their conflict. No, you're not responsible. We're adults. Hope and I, we make our own decisions. It wasn't you. We're ready to work past that and put it all behind us, Steffi said. First, there's kindergarten graduation, then our little ones leave grade school for middle school. High school graduation comes next, followed by the big send-off to college, and then graduation and on to the next chapter of their lives. The bold and the beautiful's Don Diamond and his wife Cindy Ambule recently experienced yet another proud moment when it came to their son Anton. The CBS soap vet posted 8 photos and 2 videos to remember his son's college graduation from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and had a very special message to send him. Anton Ambule couldn't have made more of his football scholarship. Diamond then went on to say, with blood, sweat, and tears he, as the starting left tackle, and his UNLV football teammates, went from a 2-win first season to a record-setting 11-win season his senior year. But that wasn't all. The team came out on top with a victory at the LA Bowl and ended the year ranked 24th in the country, which happened to be the first time UNLV football ranked in the top 25. Anton was no less committed in the classroom as a Dean's List student in business finance. The actor then finished his tribute to his beloved son by expressing, "Tanker, I could be prouder of all that you've accomplished. It was such a joy to be along for the ride. Diamond's former castmate, the young and the restless Lauralee Bell, sent her congrats through a series of emojis. As General Hospital's Eva LaRue stated, "So awesome, congratulations. Love you guys so much." Don Diamond reflected on how he got the role of Brad Carlton on Y&R, and then how he transitioned over to B&B, marking 40 years at CBS. 40 years is a long time to have a job, particularly for actors. But the bold and the beautiful's Don Diamond has done it, though he didn't start on that show. He began on The Young and the Restless in 1985, playing Brad Carlton until exiting in 2021. But now, as the ruthless Dollar Bill Spencer on B&B, he's got some tough times ahead as his son Liam has a fatal brain tumor. Diamond opened up about all the fun times he's had in the past 4 decades. Diamond recently celebrated 16 years on B&B and now discussed his 40 years on CBS soaps with TV Insider. He explained that his soap career began when he played Carlo Forenza on Days of Our Lives in 1984, but the stint didn't last long because I was just so incredibly green. So much so that a director scolded him in front of the cast for not having enough energy. Fortunately, Bill Bell, creator/head writer of Y&R, had seen me on Days and wanted me to screen test for Brad Carlton. So he hired an acting coach to teach him how to be more professional in the job and to learn what the hell I was doing. He landed the gig, and after his first day there, then executive producer Wes Kenny came up to him and praised him for a job well done, which helped embolden his resolve to continue. As Brad, he went from being just a guy showing off his muscles to a powerhouse businessman. Diamond was happy that his father got to see this transition, and remarked that his dad once told him, "You know, when you started, you weren't very good, and you're really good now. I'm really proud of you. You learned a lot." He added, "That meant a lot to me." But Bell had passed away, and new producers took over, pushing Diamond out. However, Brad Bell was the showrunner for B&B and created Bill Spencer Jr. for him. "And the rest is history," he enthusiastically remarked. He then reflected on his 40 years at CBS, noting that's pretty crazy. He explained that he feels lucky and is thankful for the opportunities presented to him. Hope should read the fine print on her contract. Hope immediately returned to Forrester Creations on The Bold and the Beautiful. She didn't blink twice at Steffi's invitation. The two reconciled for the sake of Liam, who is dying. Hope should have read the fine print, because there might be one condition that Steffi set. Hope's return to Forrester Creations is a move that no one saw coming. Steffi invited her back out of the kindness of her heart. The two agreed to remain civil for the sake of their families, since it's what Liam wants from them. He's aware that he created that wedge between them. B&B fans on the message boards at soapcentral.com reacted to Hope's return. Some believe that Steffi set a secret condition that was written in Hope's contract. Her return doesn't mean that Hope for the future also returns. Rather, Hope gets a new position with the company. The original poster asked, "But what if Steffi also decides that HFTF won't continue, but she'll find a place for Hope, maybe as Katie or Brooke's assistant?" It's possible that Hope got demoted. Would Hope accept a new opposition, or will she recoil at the thought of a demotion? The user noted. Fans shared their thoughts on Hope's return to FC. Some argued that it was only fair for Hope to return to her former position, since Carter was invited back as their lawyer. He used his law degree and position to take control of SC. One fan asked, why shouldn't Hope be taken back, since she was just along for the ride? Another fan argued, they both should be held accountable. I don't think either one should be allowed to come back, even though he apologized. For now, Hope is excited to be back at Forrester Creations, even though she claimed that it was a toxic company. She might not get her line back with the luxury house, at least not anytime soon. However, she might continue to fight for Hope for the future. What are your thoughts on Hope's return? Do you think Steffi set a secret condition? Let us know in the comments section. Katie has the power. Why isn't she using it? Katie Logan, what are you waiting for? You overheard the scandal of the season on The Bold and the Beautiful straight from Daphne Rose's own mouth. She stood and watched the perfumer and Zend plotting like it was the Monte Carlo of mayhem, and you're just sitting on it? Girl, you practically stumbled into a front row seat at the Skimmers ball, and instead of blowing the whistle, you're sipping tea like it's chamomile hour in Beverly Hills. It's time to stir the pot, Katie. Steffi's got her hands full keeping after Liam while he's looking death in the face, and Ridge is too busy playing Switzerland to notice the perfume princess playing puppet master in his company. You, however, have the power and the intel to turn this game on its head. And let's be real, it's not like Daphne's subtle. She's been fluttering those lashes at Carter like it's her side hustle and turning every hallway into a Parisian runway. We all know she's not here for the fresh California air. What we need is for Katie to channel her inner Logan lioness and roar. Let's see her storm into Forrester, shut down Daphne Rose's smirks with that classic Katie eyebrow raise, and say, "Oh honey, I know why you're really here." Imagine the chaos. Carter would be left choking on his protein shake, Zend would need a new hiding place, and Daphne Rose would be Googling the fastest flight back to Paris. The best part? Katie doesn't even need to lie. She has the truth on her side, and when a Logan is armed with facts and fury, it's game over. Daphne's designer heels won't know what hit them. So come on, Katie. Enough with the quiet watching. We're ready for fireworks, and you're holding the match. Time to rock Daphne's world and give us the Logan moment we've been waiting for. The Bold and the Beautiful premiered in 1987 and currently airs on the CBS network. The show focuses on themes of business rivalries, romantic relationships, family drama, feuds, and scandals, and was created by Lee and William Bell. The Bold and the Beautiful revolves around the lives of the Forrester, Carter, Spencer, and Logan families. In the May 20, 2025 episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, the plot took a dramatic turn in Los Angeles. At Forrester Creations, Hope Logan broke news about her being rehired by Steffi Forrester to Brooke Logan and Ridge Forrester. Steffi and John Finn Finnegan found a glimmer of hope for Liam Spencer's inoperable brain tumor, while Hope and Carter reunited. In the May 20, 2025 episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope Logan met Brooke Logan at Forrester Creations. The mother and daughter duo embraced each other. Hope shared the news about Steffi Forrester rehiring her at Forrester Creations. She also told her about how she and Steffi had apologized to each other and did their best to move forward. She shared how this reconciliation was prompted by the fact that both of them were deeply affected by Liam Spencer's inoperable brain tumor and wanted to support each other. In the midst of Brooke and Hope's conversation, Ridge Forrester walked in and heard Hope's news. Ridge appeared surprised at how both of them had figured out and moved beyond their differences. Hope again explained to him how she had apologized about the coup she had organized alongside Carter Walton. Hope admitted to Ridge that she felt she had gone too far, and Ridge seemed pleased to have her back on board as well. Hope then left to meet Carter Walton, while Brooke and Ridge spent time together. Ridge told Brooke that she should thank Steffi for bringing Hope back as a part of their company, and she readily agreed, which pleasantly surprised Ridge. Meanwhile, at the Cliff House, Steffi Forrester and John Finn Finnegan spent time with each other, discussing the new tests that Liam had undergone at the hospital's neurological center. Liam walked into the room and revealed to Steffi that the results were already back and things were not looking good. He felt that the time that he had left with his daughters, Beth and Kelly, was running out. He wanted to spend his last few days with them, knowing that he was terminally ill. Steffi shared that she and Hope had reconciled, and Liam seemed ecstatic at the news. Finn received a message from Dr. Grace Buckingham, who wanted to discuss possible treatment options for Liam. They all seemed to get a glimmer of hope for his potential recovery. Elsewhere, Hope met Carter Walton and shared her news of being able to work alongside him again. She also told him that she had missed him and felt that he was the man she truly wanted to be with. However, Carter appeared skeptical and mentioned that he had overheard her saying she wanted to spend her future with Liam. In the May 20 episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope told Brooke that Steffi had rehired her at Forrester Creations, marking a major shift after their past tensions. She admitted her role in the failed takeover with Carter and showed genuine regret. Ridge walked in and seemed genuinely surprised, but pleased that Hope and Steffi had reconciled. Meanwhile, Brooke agreed with Ridge that Steffi deserved credit for bringing Hope back. At the Cliff House, Liam revealed that his test results were grim. He believed time was slipping away from him and wanted to spend his last days with his daughters. Just as the mood grew heavy, Finn received a message from Dr. Grace Buckingham suggesting new treatment possibilities. Hope also reunited with Carter and confessed she still wanted to be with him, but Carter wasn't sure where he stood after hearing conflicting things. In tomorrow's episode, Liam will meet with Grace Buckingham and receive more news, but it won't be good. Carter and Hope will share another moment, and their future could shift depending on what's said next. Meanwhile, Zend, Elektra, and Will are going to pitch a fashion line to Daphne, who may still be torn about Carter. One couple will also reunite in a way nobody saw coming. Tomorrow's The Bold and the Beautiful episode will pick up with Liam receiving a visit from Dr. Grace Buckingham. She will review the latest results from his neurological tests, but the news will not be what he hoped for. Grace will confirm that the experimental options they were discussing may no longer be possible due to the advanced stage of his condition. Liam will try to stay calm in front of her, but later he will struggle with the idea that he may not have much time left with Beth and Kelly. He will begin thinking about how to make the most of the time he has left. Meanwhile, Carter and Hope will cross paths again. Hope will try to explain her feelings, insisting that she truly meant what she said about wanting to be with him. However, Carter will bring up the conversation he overheard where Hope seemed to say her future was with Liam. This will create tension between them. Carter will ask her if she's being honest now or simply confused about what she wants. Hope will hesitate before answering, which could make things worse. Their conversation will end without resolution, leaving their relationship hanging in the balance. At Forrester Creations, Zende, Will, and Elektra will prepare for their big pitch. They'll bring Daphne into the design office to try and get her on board with a new fashion line they want her to promote. Daphne will listen, but she will be distracted. She will still have feelings for Carter, and it'll show. Elektra will notice the shift in Daphne's focus and later mention it to Will. Zende will try to get everyone back on track and refocus the conversation, especially since time is running out before the next showcase. Daphne's decision about the line might depend on whether she thinks she can work at Forrester, while Carter is still involved with Hope. Elsewhere, a couple who have been distant for some time will share an unexpected moment. Ridge and Brooke will revisit their earlier conversation about Steffi's role in bringing Hope back. Ridge will ask Brooke if she's really okay with giving Steffi the credit. In The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke will admit she is, and Ridge will be surprised by her answer. Their exchange will lead to a kiss, signaling that something between them is beginning to shift again. Whether this turns into a full reconciliation will depend on what happens next, but it will be the first sign in weeks that they might find their way back. In a recent twist on The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope Logan's romantic entanglements have left fans questioning her true motives. Following Liam Spencer's rejection, Hope unexpectedly pivots to Carter Walton, proclaiming him to be the right man for her. Yet her behavior suggests otherwise, leading many to suspect that Carter is merely a temporary fix for her emotional loneliness. Carter, understandably confused, confronts Hope after overhearing her emotional plea to Liam. Just days before, Hope had desperately begged Liam to reconcile, only to be met with firm rejection. Liam declared that the spark in her eyes was gone, a telling moment that cast doubt on any future between them. Hope's actions are reminiscent of past patterns. After splitting with Liam, she rebounded with Thomas Forrester, only to abandon him when commitment arose. Then came a brief flirtation with Finn, her ex-stepsister's husband, before Carter emerged as her next focus. But even now, her uncertain expressions and conflicted demeanor suggest she's seeking comfort more than love. As Hope reclaims her position at Forrester Creations, Carter is left wondering whether her declarations are sincere or simply a reaction to heartbreak. The ambiguity of her feelings creates tension, and many believe Carter deserves more than being a fallback option. Meanwhile, the show's emotional intensity skyrockets with the revelation of Liam Spencer's deteriorating health. Diagnosed with a rapidly growing brain tumor, Liam is faced with the possibility of having only a week left to live. Dr. Grace Buckingham's grim prognosis shatters any hope of recovery, leaving Liam torn between hospital care and spending his final days with daughters Beth and Kelly. Scott Clifton's portrayal of Liam during this harrowing arc has been described as Emmy-worthy. Scenes of Liam grappling with his mortality, breaking down upon learning the truth, and planning final moments with his children are among the most poignant in recent show history. Interestingly, tragedy brings former rivals together. Hope and Steffy Forrester, longtime adversaries in love, put aside their differences to support Liam. Steffy even rehired Hope at Forrester Creations, acknowledging that life is too short for old feuds. However, peace may be short-lived as the two clash over Liam's treatment options. Steffy leans toward experimental care, while Hope respects Liam's desire for dignity in his final days. Further speculation suggests that Steffy may take Liam overseas, possibly to Switzerland, in search of a miracle cure. Alternatively, some fans suspect Liam may vanish off-screen, only to reappear months later with amnesia, a classic soap twist. Back in Los Angeles, Hope's deepening bond with Carter may evolve under the weight of grief. An engagement could be on the horizon, accelerated by the emotional chaos surrounding Liam's condition. However, Carter's recent encounter with Daphne Rose adds a complication, especially if Hope learns about it. As the story develops from May 19 to June 6, viewers can expect major developments: Steffy and Hope's alliance, Carter's emotional turmoil, and Liam's heartbreaking farewell. Additional drama looms with Ridge Forrester questioning Steffy's sudden change of heart toward Hope, unaware of Liam's fatal diagnosis. Brooke and Taylor's rivalry is also reigniting, and questions remain about whether Hope will finally reveal Liam's condition to her mother. Carter, still unaware of the full truth, is about to be blindsided as Hope prepares to reveal what truly happened between her and Liam. In an earth-shattering storyline that redefines everything fans thought they knew, The Bold and the Beautiful unveils one of its most profound revelations to date. At the center of the turmoil is a truth long buried. Daphne, a woman previously unknown to the Forrester family, is Ridge Forrester's biological daughter. The man who has been considered Ridge's son all his life, Thomas, is not his child at all. The revelation is triggered by a life-threatening medical emergency. Ridge, in dire need of a bone marrow transplant, finds no compatible matches among his known family, not even Thomas. Unexpectedly, Daphne volunteers, and shock follows when she is found to be a perfect genetic match, a connection possible only through a direct bloodline. This revelation launches a deeper investigation, leading to a truth no one anticipated. The origin of the deception traces back decades. Margaret Hamilton, mother of Taylor Hayes and Daphne's grandmother, orchestrated a secret baby swap during a traumatic childbirth. She sent Daphne, Ridge and Taylor's true biological daughter, away to be adopted and replaced her with Thomas, the biological child of another woman. Margaret's rationale was that the Forrester legacy needed a strong male heir. In her mind, fate needed correcting. The fallout is devastating. Ridge is heartbroken to learn the daughter who saved his life is one he never knew existed. Worse, he has poured his love and mentorship into Thomas, a child not biologically his. Taylor, kept in the dark all these years, is crushed by the weight of her mother's betrayal. Stunned by her grandmother's manipulation, Steffi gains a sister but watches her family collapse under the pressure of long-buried lies. Thomas, perhaps the most affected, experiences an identity collapse. Every aspect of his life, his name, career, and legacy, is built on a foundation that never existed. His sense of belonging disintegrates. His emotional descent begins quietly but intensifies as the reality of his erasure becomes impossible to ignore. Forrester Creations is not immune to the consequences. The company's leadership and ownership are immediately questioned. Ridge, trying to reconcile truth with responsibility, initiates a boardroom vote. Thomas's shares are revoked on legal grounds due to the lack of formal adoption and the fraudulent origins of his position. Daphne, in contrast, is quietly offered a symbolic minority stake. She never sought power, yet suddenly finds herself thrust into the center of a legacy she never knew existed. Thomas's downward spiral accelerates. Emotionally gutted and removed from the only world he's known, he lashes out and ultimately disappears. Rumors suggest he's aligning with rival fashion houses and preparing a bold re-entry under his birth name, Thomas Hamilton. No longer a Forrester, he's preparing to reshape his identity and perhaps destroy the institution that rejected him. Meanwhile, Daphne struggles under the weight of her uninvited inheritance. Attempts to connect with Thomas are rejected. Even Hope, trying to offer peace, is met with hostility. Daphne is viewed with suspicion by many, including Brooke, who fears her presence threatens her bond with Ridge. Yet Daphne remains a potential unifier, standing between a fractured family and total collapse. As tensions mount, new questions surface. Did Margaret act alone? Were hospital records deliberately altered by others? Was Eric Forrester aware of discrepancies and chose to stay silent? The intrigue deepens as trust within the family erodes. The storyline pushes every character to reassess their identity, loyalty, and role within the Forrester dynasty. In a world built on image and tradition, the bold and the beautiful forces its characters and its audience to grapple with the question, what truly defines family? Blood, love, or legacy?